If you're in your 30s, this is the perfect opportunity for you to rewrite the next chapter of your life. And I want to help you build that purpose as a man, right? Because if we don't have purpose as men, we end up living a very empty and miserable existence. And just think about it. You're at the halfway point of your life now, right? So in your 30s, that's when a man's life actually begins. You've made your mistakes in your 20s. It's gotten you to where you're at now. But you're able to now change the story, right? You can literally recreate your future. And I want to help you build that purpose, because if we don't have purpose as men, we end up feeling very empty inside, right? And when we feel empty, we end up chasing happiness externally, right? Whether that's through vices, drugs, alcohol, porn, getting ourselves in relationships, buying materialistic objects, right? You're always going to feel empty regardless. So you need to make sure that you feel complete within. And when we end up just settling for less, right, by having no purpose as men, we end up just settling for less in our health, our career, our relationships, and then that then transcends into living a life of regret. And that's the last thing you want to do as a man, right? You don't want to live a life of regret. You know, I personally, as was at a very low point in my life 2 years ago, right? I was 34 years old, I'm 36 now, and I had no purpose, I had no direction, I wasn't striving for more, and I just saw my future going downhill, right? Because I made, terrible mistakes in my 20s, which ended up, costing me my 30s. But I made the conscious decision to go all in, right? I wanted to rewrite the next chapter of my life, and I was going to do everything in my power to recreate myself, be the best version of myself, build that purpose as a man. And once I built my purpose, that's when my life truly shifted, right? That's when all positive things started to come into my life. And my life has transcended, right, since building my purpose. I was able to start the business that I always wanted to start, attract the type of woman that I always wanted, attract the right social circle, network with the right people, travel the world. All these things started to happen once I built my purpose, right? So understand that purpose is absolutely crucial. I want you to really think about this, right? You might be able to relate with what I'm saying, but when I used to work in the corporate world, there was always this older gentleman, right? And he was the older gentleman that was in the same position for like the last 20 years. And he was so negative. He hated his life. And when you have conversations with this individual, everything that comes out of his mouth is negative, right? He's living in scarcity. And he's living a life of regret, right? He just looks very empty inside. And I want you to really pay attention, right, to someone in your in your workplace, and just look at them, right? That older individual. Do you really want to be like him? When I used to work in that particular field, I used to just see myself in that person, right? If I don't change my life, if I don't have anything to strive towards, I'm going to end up being this particular individual, right? And that literally scared me. So really just think about it, right? That older person that's in your workplace, do you really want to be like him, right? Living a life of regret, having no purpose, settling for less. That's the byproduct. And personally, I know certain individuals, right, in their 40s, in their 50s, they ended up settling for less. They got themselves in relationships, they had children. And now when I look at them, they're so broken, right? They've put on weight, they look very depressed. They're literally empty vessels. And you can see in their eyes that they have no purpose, right? They're not striving for more, they've settled for less. And you can see that they're so broken inside, right? So just take it from someone who's got this experience, who's seen the world for what it is, that purpose is a must for any man, right? You need to have purpose. So understand this, right? Your purpose as a man, and I'm going to keep this very simple and straightforward, so any man in his 30s can build his purpose, is to literally be the best version of yourself, right? Be that role model and give that person back to the world, right? Be the role model you never had in your life. Me personally, I grew up with the wrong role models in my life, right? They were all chasing vices, chasing women. They weren't striving for more. They settled for less. They all had trauma that they hadn't, healed. And I literally found myself being another version of them, right? So I knew something had to change. I wanted that older brother, that father figure, but I never had that, right? So I had to create that individual. So 2 years ago, when I was at breaking point, I had to build that individual. And I'm so grateful I tapped into my highest self. I became that own role model in my life, because that's what allowed me to help other people, make this YouTube channel, inspire others to change. You know, those closest around me, they all start winning. Why? Because I'm the right role model, right? I set the right example. So you need to make sure that you just focus on being the best version of yourself, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Operate with that high frequency. When you operate with that high frequency, that self-love, the peace, the gratitude, you start living in abundance, right? When you live in abundance, you feel complete, you feel whole. You don't need anything externally to make you feel complete. And that's truly when you start to attract all the things in your life. That's when you start striving for more. You don't settle for less, because you're the best version of yourself, right? So you know that you're deserving of a better woman, a better career, a better lifestyle. You deserve better health, right? And you will get those things because you're taking action. You're striving to be the best version of yourself. So you only will attract that back into your life, right? We're all energy beings. You need to understand this. So how you perceive the world, the frequency that you perceive the world, whether it's high frequency or low frequency, is what you attract back, right? So let's say, for example, you want a beautiful woman in your life, right? When you operate through low frequency, you're going to only attract a woman with problems into your life. When you operate with high frequency, you're only going to attract a high quality woman back in your life, right? Because you're not going to tolerate anyone that's down here. When you're radiating up here, you're only going to attract someone on this energy level, right? It just makes sense. So understand that your frequency is what you frequently see. Okay, that's your operating system. That's how you perceive the world, and that's what comes back into your life. So the only way forward is to tap into your highest self, right? Experience those high frequency emotions. And you do this by having a daily system, all right? You need to have a daily system that's non-negotiable. You need to stack up those daily wins from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, right? You literally do this every day. This is what allows you to operate through your highest self. This is what allows you to feel those positive emotions, right? The self-love, the gratitude, the peace, the abundance. And this is when you start attracting those things in your life, right? You want a better career? Start with upgrading your operating system, right? Do that through your daily system, through your daily habits. That's what will allow you to not settle for less and apply for a better job, to start a business, right? Because you're in a better mindset. You're in a positive frame, so you know that you can strive for more. You know you're not going to settle for less. Your self-esteem goes up when you have a daily system, right? When you stick to your daily system. So let's say the time you wake up, okay? Early rise, that's very important. That sets the tone for your entire day. So when you wake up early and you don't hit the snooze button, right? You get up at 5 a.m., you know that you could be sleeping in, right? Like the rest of the world. But because you choose to wake up early, it's a sign of gratitude, right? You're literally respecting the man above, right? He's given you life. He's given you your health, your breathing. So you got to show you got to express your gratitude through your early rise, right? You have to wake up early. And when you wake up early at 5 a.m., you've already won for the day, right? You've already stacked up a major win for the day. Your whole day ends up being positive. Think about it. When you keep hitting the snooze button and you go to work and you're late, you end up speeding in traffic, you're in a bad mood, you're half awake, right? And you get to work, you need a couple of coffees to get started. Your whole day's messy, right? And then something goes wrong at work, and then your whole day's completely turned upside down, okay? So you need to understand that the time that you wake up is absolutely crucial. So you must make sure that you wake up early, you don't hit the snooze button, you be grateful, right, for being alive. And once you wake up early, you need to make sure that you get some journaling in, you need to read and reflect, right? Personal development books. You need to focus on getting a workout in, right? And not only just a workout, you need to have goals within the workout, right? You need to focus on getting jacked. Because when you get jacked as a man, when you build an aesthetic physique, it's a sign of self-discipline, right? People start respecting you more. Women start respecting you more, right? When I see someone else that's jacked in the street, it's not about just his physique, but more or less when I look at his physique, I knew what it took, right? I know the self-discipline involved to build that particular physique, right? So I give that person respect. When you're that jacked individual, you command the room, right? And when you command the room, you command your life, right? Everyone starts respecting you when you're jacked. Once you get the exercise in, you need to focus on clean eating, right? You need to make sure that you ingest the right types of food that's going to allow you to operate at the highest level, right? That's going to allow you to control your emotions. The fuel that you put in your body is huge, right? It's important. Your body's a temple, so you need to respect it. So what you ingest highly matters, right? Now, once you've got your workout in, once you've eaten clean, you need to focus on some sort of meditation, right? Any form of meditation that allows you to be present, that allows you to be calm. In this fast-paced world that we live in, you must remain present, right? When you're present, when a man's present, he's in control of his emotions. When he's in control of his emotions, he's able to look after other people's emotions, right? Other people's emotions, even if they're negative, they don't enter his realm, right? When you have a partner, for example, when you're in control of your emotions as a man and you got emotional intelligence, a woman's going to really respect you, right? A woman loves a man who has control of his life, his emotions, the direction that he's going. So making sure that you incorporate all these good habits from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep is absolutely crucial. And when you knock this off in the morning and you get all this done, it literally sets the tone for the remainder of the day, and you just continue to stack up all the daily wins, right? Just continue to eat good. When you come back from work, you've got the opportunity to learn a skill, right? You can look for a better career. You're more in a better mindset to attract these sort of things, right? Because you're putting in work for yourself, you're showing up. That's God's plan. God wants you to be the best version of yourself, mentally, physically, and spiritually, and you're able to then help others, right? You're not selfish. You don't have selfish desires in your life. You live a holistic lifestyle. And that's when he starts to bless you, right? That's when the path becomes illuminated. Doors start opening in your life. Why? Because you're literally showing up for yourself each and every day. You don't have to. You could sleep in, you can take the easy way out, like majority of the population, but you choose to be different. You choose to strive for more. You choose to stack up those daily wins. You choose to operate through that high frequency. And guess what happens? God just rewards you with positive outcomes in your life, right? Positive things start to just come into your life. That's what happened to me, right? All these positive things, where I'm at right now in my life, it didn't happen by chance, right? It was me focusing on building the best version of myself, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And as I kept showing up for myself, right? Not chasing any outcomes, not being selfish, helping other people, that's when God started to open certain doors in my life, right? And that's when my life started to get better and better and better and better. So it's all about building that momentum, right? With that daily system. It's all about building the momentum, getting 1% better every day. And that's your baseline purpose, right? That's how you can achieve a better career, a high quality woman in your life, a better lifestyle, right? You're not settling for less. Your self-esteem goes up. You've got self-love. You're like, damn, I feel good. I deserve more. I'm not going to tolerate anything, lower. I'm going to only tolerate high quality things in my life, right? And you're going to end up being a high achiever because you're showing up for yourself. So you're going to make sure that the internal state is good, the operating system. And that's how you're going to perceive the world, right? Operating through that high frequency. You're only going to attract that back in your life, right? That's the easiest way that I can explain this, for any man, right? To build that purpose is to just literally show up for yourself each and every day. And it's all done through action, right? It's your daily habits that allows you to upgrade that operating system. And when you do this and you make it non-negotiable, right? Even when you get yourself in a relationship, even when you build a better career, whatever it might be, you make sure that you keep this daily system regardless. And this is what allows a man to be in control of his life, in control of his emotions. And this is huge, right? We need this in today's society because there's so much cheap dopamine out there. There's so many traps out there, right? So you got to make sure you have a plan, you stick to it, and it keeps you sort of tunnel vision, right? It keeps you in your own lane. And anything negative that pops up in your life, right, it won't affect you because you've built up this routine. You've rewired your brain to operate this way. And because you've experienced those low frequency emotions, right, from the mistakes you've made in your past, you know deep down that you'd rather operate as this high frequency individual and not go back down to that low frequency individual, right? So this is the beauty of tapping into your higher self. So this is your baseline purpose, right? Be the man that you always needed. Give that man back to the world, right? Tap into that high frequency. You'll receive that back into your life. You'll attract it. You'll feel complete. You'll have abundance. And then your purpose can extend from there, right? So personally, my purpose started off as me just being the best version of myself, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And because I was that best version of myself, I was able to create this YouTube channel. I was able to start my coaching business. I was able to help others transform their lives, right? But it all started with me just showing up for myself, okay? Not focusing on any outcomes, just making sure that my operating system was good. And that's when the man above started to give me all those things that I wanted, right? The woman that entered my life, I didn't go on a dating app to meet her. She literally crossed paths with me at the right time. The man above put her in front of me, right? I was ready. He gave her to me. A woman who complements my life, who supports my mission, who doesn't bring negative energy into my life, right? This is the type of woman I always wanted, but I was never going to settle for less because I was showing up for myself. I was operating through high frequency. So I only attracted a high frequency woman in my life, right? The previous partners I was with were low frequency, the emotions were unstable, and it was the wrong partner for me, right? So I was, however, I deserved that because I was operating through my lowest self. So I only attracted those sort of low frequency women into my life. So my life truly started to change, man, once I just focused on building my baseline purpose. And from there, just your purpose will just extend, right? So understand that you can build your purpose. If you're stuck right now in your 30s and you've got that desire internally to make that change, you don't want to have a repeat of your 20s, I can help you build that purpose as a man, right? I can help you build this in 90 days. I can hold you accountable. This is what I help my clients do. I help them recreate themselves, build that purpose so they can have a better career. They can meet a better woman, right? They can attract the things that they truly desire into their life. And this is what I do, right? I have a blueprint that's set out. It's all done through an application. And these guys are crushing it, man. After the first, second week, they're feeling the high frequency emotions and they're loving life. And it's only been like the first 1 to 2 weeks and they're already seeing significant changes. So just think about it. After 90 days, they would have already built up that momentum, that system. They don't need me anymore and they can just keep going. They can then therefore bring that into their life and just maintain that on an ongoing basis. So if you want to invest in yourself, if you're serious about making change, you can click the link down below. I can help you build that purpose as a man, help you recreate yourself, kill the old version of you. And yeah, we can see if we can work together or not. But look, I'm going to end this video here. Please consider what I'm saying as very important, right? Because as I said, man, you don't want to get to the age of 40, 50, 60, be broken, be empty, hating life, being that negative individual, right? Living a life of regret. Because by the time you get to about your late 40s, your 50s, or your 60s, it's pretty much game over, right? It's going to be quite difficult for you to recreate yourself. Your energy levels are not going to be how they were when you were 30, right? When we're 30, we realize that our energy levels are not how they were when we were 20, right? So you got to understand that you need to make this change as soon as possible if you want your life to change, right? So ending the video here, if you're new to my channel, you like my content, you resonate with me, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me keep making more valuable content to help men. You know, I only make content about things that I've personally been through, that I've overcome. And yeah, man, if you like the video, you know, please give it a like. It always helps the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, drop your comments down below. You know, I'd love to hear it. You know, what are you lacking right now? You know, what's going wrong in your life? You know, tell me. I'm happy to give you my advice. I want to hear you. I want to hear your side of the story. But yeah, look, ending the video. Have a blessed and beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.